this is Sonya with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to week 42 of using up scraps. And this week I just made some photo mat clusters, and I just used some scrap papers and scrap fabric and some die cut shapes and things like that, and came up with this. So here's the first one, and these can fit like a 4x7 photo, and some of them can be vertical and some can be horizontal, depending on how you want to use your thing. So like this one here, it just slides right on in. Well, see if I can get a grip of it. So you could have like a vertical photo. Oh, let me tuck that in like that. Or you could use it, put in a horizontal photo, however you want to do it, you know. Same concept. So it's versatile. So that's the first one. And then I just have Spectacular. This came from a magazine, and I did some jelly printing in a previous video, and I had some leftover papers from it. So I just took it and added it to another piece of scrap paper, added some cheesecloth, some bling, and then I just drew these leaves and fussy cut them out. Added this little butterfly, and I had some leftover scrap paper, and I took those little funny scissors or funny shaped scissors, and I cut them and then just added the word acorns, and fussy cut out this key and added it to the photo mat. Now I did have to pre-cut the photo mats, and then I just decorated them with the scraps. So that's the first one. And then here's the second one. You basically just put the photo in like so. It fits right on in there. Like I said, it's a 4x6. These are 4x6 photos that fit in here. A piece of something on there. I don't know what that is. Okay. But yeah, it'll stick right on in there. And did I make this a pocket? I had originally made this into a pocket, but because I've got this in the way, I can't really fit anything down in there. So I'm not going to use it as a pocket. But on this one, I think, didn't I make, yeah, I made this into a pocket too. So you could put another photo or a tag or just whatever describing whatever you've got in here. You can put it down in there. This is too big to fit down in there right now. But yeah, that's the pocket there, and then you have your photo mat, and then you've got this one. And these, I made these to fit like a journal. When you just fold the papers over, it'll fit. So, and then here's this one right here, and I decorated this side just to kind of match the photo. And I just took some scraps of fabric here. Well, this is a piece of the same magazine page that had been jelly printed, and then here's some scrap muslin and some other scrap fabric, and then some scrap papers, and I just took a hole punch and just punched out this little image and glued it on here. And this is like a little tuck spot. Just tuck something on in there. And then on this one here, this one can be a vertical or a horizontal photo. You do have a pocket back here, but then you also have your photo itself, or photo frame itself. So you can stick your photo one in there, and you can choose another photo that's more appropriate for this size, you know. But it can go that way, or like I said, you can use a horizontal. It can go horizontally as well. And let's just stick that one down in there. See if we can get that in there right. And then you've got that one. And basically all I did was I had a die cut negative. I punched out some, I die cut some shapes, and then I kept the negative that went around it. And I just thought that those would make great frames. And then I just added some words and some more scrap paper and some bling, a little butterfly, die cut shape, and a little sticker, a little puffy sticker from the Dollar Tree. And I want, because when I use this acetate, although it did dry clear, it still kind of left like a little residue. So I wanted to kind of hide that a little bit. So that's why I did it like that. And you can decorate yours however you like and add your own embellishments. In case you do have flaws, you can just put something else over top of all that if you needed to. But this is basically it. So let me go ahead and show you how I made these. Okay, so I'm just going to make some frame clusters, and I want them to fit on like a journal page. And it's going to be like, they're going to fit like a 4x7, no, 4x6 photo. And I'm going to have some going horizontally and vertically. So I'm just using these as like a guide. But what I did, I am going to use scraps, but I did have to go ahead and make some mats. I'm just going to do 3 of them for right now. And I tried to stitch around the edges to kind of jump start the project, but I have the worst luck with sewing machines, so we're not even going to worry about sewing anything today. So, okay, basically all I did was, you know, we have our 4x6. So the photo mats, I made them 4.5 by 6.5 for the inner part, like the 2 browns and the beige. 4.5 by 6.5, and then I made the black going around to 5 by 7, so that you could have like a 1/4 of an inch going around each mat, and they can fit comfortably in here like that. So we've got our base, which is our photo frames or photo mats. So we're going to embellish them, and what I'm just going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add these to some of the solid pages. Actually, I'm going to leave this as journaling paper. I don't want to mess that up. So let me grab another page that has like a blank, like a white inside. But I want it to have contrasting colors. Okay, I'll just take one of these. This is another one of my papers from my digital kit. So we'll just use the insides of these and keep it in sync with last week's tabs that we did. I used some of these same papers. So what we're going to do, we're going to create some photo frames, photo frame clusters, and some of the photo frames are going to also be pockets. So since we're just going to glue, we're going to determine where we want them on each one of these. So what I did is I have some die cut negatives from where I had previously cut out some of these little pieces, and I just kept the negative from it, or from them. So what I may do is put these in the center, depending on how I'm wanting to do it. I may need to just add these to some acetate. I guess we're going to stick with the acetate thing. Let me get some of that out. Now I know we are using up scraps, but it looks like we're going to be creating some too. So what I'm going to do for this particular one is I'm wanting this frame, I want this to go over top of this horizontally. So therefore, if you'll notice, this is kind of thin and this is a little bit thick. So we're just going to cut this down a little bit to match this side. Okay, so that looks relatively even on both sides. So what we're going to do, we're just going to get us a piece of acetate. And if you already have some that's a pretty decent size, because we are using scraps. And this is a decent length, but it's a decent length, but it's not wide enough to cover the entire inner portion of this frame. So I'm just going to have to cut a fresh piece of acetate. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm wanting this acetate to be the same length as, or almost the same length as this black. So if it's a 5x7, then I'm just going to cut this at like almost 5x7. Let's see. It's going to be like 6 and 6. 6 and 7/8 by 4 and 7/8. And then I can just basically glue it to here. I can glue this to the acetate and then glue the acetate to the black. So let's do that. And I'm just going to use some wet glue. And it'll stay. I'm just going to line it up in the center. And you want to make sure that you don't have any type of like stuff on your acetate. Okay, so we've got it on there and we're getting ready to add this acetate. I'm just going to glue around the edges of the acetate. But I'm going to leave one end open so that you can slide a photo down in it. I'm gonna add this to the brown one. Now keep in mind, this glue will dry clear. So we're just going to let that dry for a little bit. And we're going to come on over to, actually we're just going to go ahead and add this inside here. And it kind of looks plain by itself, so we're just going to decorate the pages as well. I'm just going to take some scrap paper and it has blues and browns. These were from like jelly plates. These were magazine pages that had paint on them. So we're going to use some scraps from there and we're just going to glue some on here. And we're just going to take a piece of fabric, some scrap fabric. I'm just going to tear a little piece of that off. And I think I'm going to take a little piece of this muslin and do the same thing, just a thin piece. I'm just going to add this on here. Add a little bit of this. And then I'm just going to take another piece of scrap paper. Let's see what we have. I like this one. And I'm just going to take this little hole punch. And I'm going to see if I can get this little key image in the center of it. Whether you can see that or not, but we're going to try to get that. We will use this, but we also need something a little bit bigger, like a ticket, and we're going to need something that has a contrasting color. So maybe a piece of this green. And we're just going to cut out a ticket. And I like that, but then I think that this still needs something too. So I think I'm going to get a piece of black. I'm going to take this little punch here. I didn't get that too good. Let's try it again. Or maybe I need some funny shaped scissors to cut. Let's see what we can come up with. Yeah, I like that. And I'm going to make this into a tuck spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to glue this ticket on here in the center. Then I'm going to glue this on here in the center. Then I'm going to take a marker, an alcohol marker, and we're just going to go around the edge. Let's see. Using the fine tip, because this one have a broad tip and then we also have a fine tip. We're going to use the fine tip. And just kind of go around it to add shadow and to bring out the circle, or this scallop circle. And we've got ourselves a cluster over here. We're going to go ahead and glue it on. It's a little tuck spot. So we've got that. So I've decorated that page, but I haven't quite decorated this right here. So I think I'm going to add, let me just cut a little piece of this. This is going to be the bottom, I guess. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll have to have it come on the side. Yeah, I'll have these come over on the sides, or one of the sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out which end this is. Okay, so this is the open end, because that's what we need, is the open end. And also, while this glue is still wet, I'm just going to make sure that I'm going to have room for the photo. I may have to kind of open this up a little bit where the glue was, because we want to make sure that that photo is going to fit. So we can just test it and put it in here and then see. And it fits, but you can, if you had to, you could just kind of trim some of your photo if you absolutely had to, or even just use a different photo. So I'm just gonna, let's see, make a little bit more room further downward where this is glued. Okay, so let's try it again and make sure it's gonna fit in there. Okay, that's a little bit better, I think. And then you can slide it over however, you know, and kind of try to get it centered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some embellishments over in here. But first, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and add this one here too. So I need to find out where I want the photo. Actually, I'm just going to put the green down here. Okay, so this is approximately where it's going to go. So I'm just going to cut this off. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and I'm also going to leave this upper part open. So you're going to have a pocket back here, and then you're also going to have this pocket right here in the front. So we're just going to add glue here, here, and here. Okay, so this is where we are so far. And now I'm going to add some, let's see, I'm going to add some cheesecloth. I think I've got some scrap cheesecloth. I do. I'm going to add it here. Or should I add it here? I'm going to add it down here. Now the thing about this is it can go, no it can't go vertical. I was going to say your photo could go vertical instead of sideways, but if I would have left it open here and here, then it could have, but I didn't, which is fine. So we're just going to add, let's see, get a little piece of this black. I'm just going to cut this. And then we can put a word or something here. Okay, so I've got some words. And I just basically went around the edges with them with a marker, a black marker, and then added them to some green cardstock, some scrap cardstock. And we'll use these throughout. And then here's another one that says blessings. And I'm going to use this one on top of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and glue this cheesecloth on. So I'm just going to add some glue here and here. I don't need a whole lot because with cheesecloth, you know, it doesn't take a whole lot for it to stick. Then I'm going to add this black piece of paper. And you could use dimensionals, but I'm not. I'm just going to use glue because I don't want my journal pages too thick. So we're just going to use this, just some glue instead of dimensionals. I'm going to try to make sure that this cheesecloth kind of goes around the edges. I'm going to cut some of it down in a little bit after it finished completely drying. Then I'm going to add blessings on there. Oops. I'm just going to set it like right in the center. Let that dry a little bit. Then I'm going to come back through and I'm going to take a little bit of this cheesecloth off because I don't need too much of it like hanging down. I want it just enough to kind of give it that vintage look. I love vintage, everything vintage. I can't help myself. So we've got that. I'm going to take a little bit of this off. And then we've got our frame, or part of the frame. We still need something up here because that's kind of plain. I'm just going to come back to that when I figure out what I'm going to add. I'm going to go to the next one now, the next frame. Okay, so we're not going to let this go to waste. So therefore, I'm just going to go ahead and add this. I may add this to the blue side to kind of tone it down a little bit, and then this will be journaling space. So this is going to go on the outside, and this will be a vertical photo frame. So what we're going to do with this, I'm not going to add any more of the acetate and the die cut negative frames. That's going to be the only one. We're going to do something a little bit different. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on. And like I said, this is going to be a vertical frame or vertical mat, but it's also going to be a pocket. So I left this opening up here. So I'm just going to put this on here, somewhat near the bottom, but yet in the center, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to make sure it's glued down. So now we've got us a pocket and a mat, but we need something to hold our photos in place, right? So I will use some dimensionals on this right here. So, but before I put this on, I think I need some green or something. I don't know. I'll just put a word up here. It's going to be like really simple. Yeah, I had Autumn Breeze on there. So, or I might add it down here. We'll see. Yeah, I might make like a little corner pocket or something, or a corner mat holder. So we're going to get our dimensional, and we're going to lift this up like at the top, so just this one end, and let's see here. I'm trying to debate on if I need 1 or 2 pieces. I think 1 will be enough, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. And we're just going to set it like in the center. Well, try to get it in the center. So don't press down yet until you know you got it where you want it at. Okay, so we've got that there. And then we're going to need something down here on the bottom. So what I think I'm going to do, that's my son in the background making a lot of noise. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to cut this. I'm going to make a little triangle. I'm just going to come across like so. And I think what I'll do is we'll just have like a little jagged edge to make it fun. Just going to take this right here and just go straight across. And we're going to plug this little mat right here in. Maybe I should do 2 of them. I think I'll plug it like right along in here. I wonder if I should, I'm just going to cut it in half and make it kind of small. So I'm just going to go straight down the middle. And it isn't going to be exact, but that's fine. I guess I'll have this go here. And then I'll have this go here. So it's slightly off, but that's fine. So we're just going to add some glue here and here. And you probably could use dimensionals, but I'm not. I'm just going to use glue. Because I want to make sure that the picture's going to fit. I don't want to take up too much space of where the picture goes. And you're just going to kind of line it up with this side, but down just a little bit, you know. So we're going to add some glue here and here. And we're just going to glue this on the same way. So now when we go to put a photo in here, a vertical photo, you can put it in the corners first, and then you can slip it up under there. And this right here and these here will hold it in place. And you've got yourself a little photo mat. You know, so. And like I said, I could add something else down here to kind of fill the middle. So what I may do, breeze, is put like a little button or something here, and then we need something, a filler for right in here. So let's move this picture out the way, and we could actually just use this little circle, this scallop punch, and just find a circle or something. Let's see. Let me move these out the way. Move this acetate out the way. I need some thick paper because I want to make sure that it's pretty sturdy. We've already got green, which is semi-thick. So I guess I could use black and just stick with that. But now I think I should just use these little scissors and go across. Let's just see what we come up with. I think that'll work. So this is, I'm gonna put this in the center. I'm basically just gonna glue it to these. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue like right in here and like right in here. And then position this like in the center of the two. Just kind of wipe the glue off, and then we can add our little word on there. Yeah, I think that's cute. Autumn Breeze is what we're going to use, and we're still coordinating. So now we've got our little mat, and I think I'm just going to leave that blank for now. So we've got that one, and then where did I put the other page? 1, 2. Didn't I have 2 of these? Yeah, I did. Alright, and so I'll definitely probably do the inside of this one, because I don't want to take away from the look of these. This time I'll put this on this side, and I think I'll also make this a vertical. It'll have a vertical pocket. So we're going to do it similar to how we did that other one. Just going to add some glue. Set this in the center. And so now we have us a pocket back here, and then we also have our photo mat. I just thought about something. This one also had a pocket. I may have to, I may not have, this won't be a pocket now. Since I put this over top of it. Yeah, that's not going to work. So, or you could have it as a pocket, but I wouldn't, because it's too much trouble trying to get something in and out of there without damaging this. And yeah, we won't put anything up there, so we'll definitely have us a pocket here. So we're going to need something on the sides to hold the thing in place. Okay, so I guess what I'll do is I'm going to cut this key off. I'm just going to cut it off, fussy cut it out. And after I finish cutting this, I'm going to add it to some green cardstock to make it stronger. First I'll outline it with some ink, some alcohol ink, and then I'll add it to some green cardstock to make it stronger so that it doesn't bend or anything, since I'm going to use it as like a kind of like a photo holder or a photo mat holder, I guess that's what you could call it. So okay, so I got the key cut out and distressed or whatever. So now I'm going to get ready to add it to here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on both ends. Just a little bit, like wherever it's going to go. Okay, and so far a vertical photo can fit. And I need something else to kind of hold it. Something up through here, like on this side, but not blocking that right there. But what I will do is go ahead and add a word And I will add, I think I'll add a piece of this black leftover scrap from here and then add a word on top of it. Yeah. And I can decorate the pages later on too, but this is just kind of the basics of how I'm doing this. Take this photo out. So I'm just going to, let's see, spectacular. I like that word, spectacular. This is just another piece of leftover painted newspaper, jelly plated words and stuff. So let's see. So I'm just going to take this word spectacular, and here's some scrap paper that I like. I'm just going to go around this edge with black or dark gray. And then I'm going to glue it to this and then cut it out. Okay, so I've got the word spectacular. I think I'll probably just add a little bit of cheesecloth to it. Here's some scrap cheesecloth. I'll just tear a little piece of that off. And then I'm probably going to need something else up here in the corner, like a button or something in the shape of a button. What I could do is let's see. I'll use this scrap piece of black paper, punch a little circle, and then I'm just going to take my scallop circle punch some green, put this in the center, maybe add a piece of bling or something on there, or a leaf. Let's see if I have a leaf somewhere. So I'm just going to improvise, and I'm just going to draw a leaf and cut it out instead of like searching all over the place for one. That's one leaf, and then this is another leaf. And I'm just going to cut these out. Okay, so I get the leaves cut out, so we're just going to go ahead and start gluing this on. And I'm just going to run like a little strip of glue here and on the back of this cheesecloth. And I might, well, let me just add some on here too. That way I know it's going to stay. So I want to add the cheesecloth first. And I can cut some of it if I need it. If I need to. Then I'm just going to add the word spectacular. I'm going to add it down some. But I'm going to leave it to where there's like a little tuck area, you know, so that the picture can still fit. And we'll just kind of let that air dry. I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. I'm going to put it in the center. Then I'm going to put these leaves, go ahead and glue them on. And then I'm going to glue this circle on. And we've basically got our little thing. And you can put the picture outside of it, or you can put it inside of it. I'm going to wait for the glue to dry and then we'll see what it looks like. But this is basically it. So yeah, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Check out my other videos, my blog, and my social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.